All right, and welcome back, folks, to another exciting episode of A Distinguished Conversation. I'm your host, as always, Noah, and to the right of me is my very special guest, my very dear friend and the best piano player I know, Mr. Brent Tersol.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
of course, anytime. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've talked about having you on since the beginning. So, yeah. You're a very fun person to talk to, and you've always said that you know you're an open book, but you don't think you'd be interesting on a podcast. Well, I'm like the least interesting part of this one, so I mean, like you gotta be somewhat interesting.
Yeah. Pretty. That pretty much sums me up. That I'm an interesting individual.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So, what's new with you?
I'm part of the Butler Community College Headliners, and so I dance, and I do a lot of choreography, and yeah, it's just really fun to be able to play. And last year, 2 years ago, and last year, I was a combo for the Headliner, so I am the pianist. Man, yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, and in the time that I've known you, I just knew you as the really good piano guy. I remember when I first got like introduced to all of y'all, they were like, "Yeah, he's a metal drummer, he's a bass player, and he can play anything." I was like, "Is that so?" And then after that first practice, I was like, "Yeah." Like I remember thinking, like, me and the others are pretty good musicians, but, like, we were like, you are way out of our league.
Yeah.
And then we had you play Rock Band, and then you proved us once again that you were just way out of our league.
Yeah, I mean, playing Rock Band for the first time in Bryce's house, it was just, I don't know, it seemed a little too easy in a way. Because I played a lot of rhythm games in my past, and trying to play Rock Band, it seemed a little like it didn't seem out of my league to be able to play something like that. We
were struggling on like medium or easy, and this man's over on Fire and Flames, just rocking it hard, or expert, or what. Yeah, no, you did it on like expert with like a 94%, right?
I believe so, yes.
It's something like that. It was something ridiculous, and we were like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. Well, tell us about yourself.
So I'm 21 years old. I just had my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you so much. So, I don't know where to begin, really, because I mean, I've done a lot. I mean, I graduated from Cape Mount Carmel High School. I didn't really have much friends in there, but when I came to Butler Community College, I mean, it was basically a whole game changer for me. I mean, I'm more of an introvert, so like I'm very self-conscious when it comes to like knowing what other people are feeling whenever I talk to people, whenever I interact with people as well. So coming to Butler, that kind of really helped open me up into reaching out to other people. And Bryce, you, Noah, and other couple people in the Headliners had, helped me reach out.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I've always seen you as like my buddy, my guy. I remember, like when I first went there, I was like, I don't like the combo, but I liked you a little bit more than the other two. And then now me and Bryce are pretty tight, and I mean we've been hate crime together, so that's always fun. That's a story to tell when we have the rest of them on, because we still gotta do a combo episode where we just talk about all the times that we were supposed to practice and never got a chance, or never did, or all that good stuff. But yeah,
I mean, you were a very interesting individual when I first met you, because I believe I think I was practicing in like a piano in a practice room, and you came by and you also showed me like what you've been working on with your music and all that, that sort of stuff. And you're like, this guy is terrible. I was a little bit like weirded out because you did like bring, or you showed your knife to me. So I thought you were a little bit, dangerous to me.
Yeah. You hear that, ladies? I'm dangerous. Good times. I showed my knife. Why?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it was just like detail. Like it was like really cool, a butterfly knife or something. I can't remember what specific knife it was.
The only knife it's the same one I threaten everybody with, I showed my knife. I don't remember this.
Yeah.
This is one thing I love about having different people on the show is we talk about like the times that we meet, and I'm like, I do not remember that at all, or I do remember that completely because like me and Max, we'll talk about stories from college, and he won't remember a single thing.
And coming from like a private school from Cape Ann, we didn't really we weren't really allowed to have weapons like at
This ain't a weapon, this is a tool.
To be fair, you can have like some self-defense like tools, like maybe a pepper spray or something like, but anything like a knife or a gun just seemed a little bit too much.
Oh no, back in my day, if we had a school shooter, we shot back, like
I don't, what did you mean by shot back?
PC, Xbox, PlayStation. What's your no? gotta change subjects really quickly. So let's see, what has been your favorite set that we've played at Butler?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would have to say, since I was part of like the choreography for some of the sets, I would say that our best would be whatever. My song "To Know What You Did in the Dark."
Yeah. That was
last year.
Yeah, that was. I don't want to say we're never gonna top that, but that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Let's see. We were at dinner. We were all trying to figure out like, because normally the guys' numbers are better than the gals' numbers, but this year we think the gals' number and tops the guys. But we still gotta, if we had a chance to actually practice, maybe that would have changed things. We'll figure that out after a practice or two. But yeah, no, that one was definitely one of our like everybody's favorites. I remember. That's how I got to meet Marcos, the other drummer. So
Martinez.
Yeah, that's he basically watched that show and was like, I want to play with that guy. And then a couple of weeks later, we were playing a show for Cass, and and then that's actually, so this is a fun thing. I wrote a song called Raccoon, right? And then I had you play it at the Fine Arts Gala on piano.
I believe so.
And I do a piano version now, and I stole the piano part from you.
So that's why you had me join CMRA, just so that you can copy
pretty
what
much.
I did that.
Well, so like the funny thing was, whatever you were doing, I was like, I sat down and I basically was like, it sounded like he was playing like a G chord with the right hand and just kind of going back and forth and then playing like the notes. But like whatever it was you were doing, you probably still can play my song better than me, but like whatever you were doing was just fantastic. So I was literally was just sitting down at a piano trying to figure it out, because it added a layer that every time I've played that song since live, it has not been the same. I was like, I need a piano in there now. So
I can't remember if it was you that actually showed me the chords and I played it, or I actually listened to the song and
I think I showed you or told you like the notes, just like the chords, but then I was like, if you can figure out something, and then you were just did your little thing where you were like, oh okay, and then and yeah, but it's just it's one of my favorite songs to play, but only if it has a piano in there now.
Right, and I'm usually not an improv person when it comes to playing piano. So as long as you give me like a sheet of music or just chords, I can be able to try to play it.
See, I've always found that weird because I'm the complete opposite, where I just learned to never use sheet music.
Really?
So anytime I've played, like even the songs at Butler, I just kind of, I learn it either by ear or like I might look at the chords, but a lot of times there's a lot of just weird stuff going on where I'm like, I'm not gonna try and figure out all these rather fancy chords. I'll try and either come up with a little lick or like right now we're doing Football Hero, and that one is just insane. Like if you read all the different chords in there, you're just like, yeah, no thank you. I'm just gonna save that for later, and so then it's just kind of stripping it down and figuring out, okay, this says we're doing this, but it sounds like a C chord, and then just trying to figure out from there. It's like, all right, if I play that sounds right. That doesn't sound too terrible.
And if not, Mr. Ringo will always correct you.
Oh yeah, there was that one time. Do you remember? It was Another Day of Sun. The F that I was playing.
Yeah.
So
he was really like onto you.
He was like, "That's not an F." I was like, "That is an F." And it's so like the way that I bar chords on guitar, technically you're only supposed to play 3 of the notes, and my finger doesn't do this thing that everyone else's finger does, where it lifts up on that 4th string. So I always bar that like 4th string.
I see.
And so it went from like an F to like I think he said it was like a D sharp minor or something like that. It was some kind of sharp minor. It was.
I can't remember that.
I don't know. He was like it's most the same notes as an F, but it creates this other chord. I was like, oh no, I've been playing these for years and it's been an F. And he was like, figure something else out. So I was like, fine, I'll find another F on this F in guitar, and I'll F like, just find an F. So then I found out that I could play like a bar chord with, he was right, but I
think it did sound better like after like Ingram gave you some pointers of what the chord actually was.
Yeah, all this theory mumbo jumbo. Me actually learning the instrument, that's no fun. But I don't know. That you're like the, what is it? The guru, the guide to go to for like music and pointers and theory and all that fun stuff.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I have a really good ear. That's kind of why I was like an alternate for the smorgascords at Butler. I can just be able to play anything by ear. I don't really have to have sheet music. Sometimes I can just listen to it and just play it off.
You see, like, I can kind of do that to an extent. Like, there's some chord progressions I can hear it and I'm like, okay, I can pick that up really quickly. And others where I have to sit down and like really think about it. But that's all I've ever really done with music. As for different ensembles, which one has been your favorite?
Oh, it would definitely have to be being a part of Smorgascords, because it mainly has like those very crunchy chords.
Yeah.
And just having the chords ring, creating an overtone.
Yeah.
Which is basically a note that is not really being sung, but it's,
Yeah, no. Ebb Tide was like my favorite thing that y'all did. You, Kayla, Breezy, and Ryan. Yep. Whenever like y'all were, I was like, oh my god, this beautiful art. I remember like every time we would walk in on that, or like I was like just listening to that, I was like, just like if I could cry, I would right now. But alas, I have been graced with the inability to cry. So yeah. Now, which one do you think is the most challenging of the different ensembles that you've done?
Well, it would also have to be smorgasbords as well, because I mean, there's a one person that's
Yeah.
doing every single individual part
Yeah.
of the song, and so if you mess it up, the chord's not going to ring, and
Yeah.
you really have to know your music in order to make that chord ring.
Yeah. I've always wanted to be a part of a barbershop quartet, but I don't know music, so like.
You don't really have to know music to
Uh-huh.
be good at music. Like, I can be a whole freaking god at theory and know all of these technical terms, but it's not really essential to really know how to build or make music.
Fascinating. I remember the first songs that I wrote were always just like, because the way that I played chords on a piano were using these three fingers, the ring, the middle, and the like index finger, and then someone taught me, they were like, you're supposed to use your middle finger, your pinky, and your thumb. I was like, what about these? And they were like, no. So I've been slowly getting better at doing things the right way. But yeah, I was like, those three notes sound good. That must be a chord, or that must be something. And then I was like, oh, that's called a G.
Right, yeah. And Mr. Udlin, who was our theory teacher, he always he told us that for theory, those are basically rules that, like in jazz, are meant to be broken.
Yeah. Fascinating. I always wish I took more classes with Udlin. He always seemed like a lot of fun. Yeah.
He's kind of like that cranky dad, but also caring in a way. Yeah.
Ingram, he's fun. We need to get him on the show one of these days. The Ingram special, where we just really open up, just try and crack that coconut, see what's going on, see what's going on in there. You know. Let me see. I'm trying to think of a good topic or a good question to ask you.
I mean, I could start a topic of like, because Mr. Ingram was actually my music teacher in elementary school.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a lot of experiences with him. Most of the time, it's I'm choir, anything music related. Mr. Ingram were to do all of that for teaching.
Nice.
Yeah, in elementary school, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And then he went from teaching children to overgrown children.
Yeah,
College students.
Yeah.
So that was another thing. I remember when when my mom had first passed, he was like, I told Brent. It was like, because Brent is the nicest person. I was like, I'll allow it. It wasn't really something I was going around and telling people. Now, you know, we all kind of crack jokes about it, but
Yeah.
I remember when that when that first happened, I was like, he seems like a nice kid.
Yeah, I still feel very uncomfortable trying to make jokes about your mom passing away, and Bryce too.
I think he's warmed up to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like today, Noah, he got a text, and I looked over, and he was looking at his watch, and just kind of like glanced, and it said "Mom," and I was like, "Must be nice." It's horrible, but I mean,
Right.
passes the time, you know. Let me see. Let me find a quick little. Let me find a good topic. Let's see what Google has. PlayStation makes $60 AAA game, only $2.99 for a limited time. Have you been keeping up with Baldur's Gate at all?
I have a little bit. I was kind of interested in buying it actually, because I've never really had that personality, that outward personality, to be able to make stuff up like on the go when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons. But seeing on how all those choices had been made in Baldur's Gate, I feel like I would be able to like that game.
Yeah, My mom was actually very anti Dungeons and Dragons. That was her one where she was like, "That's a game for that's the spawn of the devil," and I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll not play Dungeons and Dragons." And so like we've talked about it for Caleb's podcast. He wanted to do one where he does like a game of Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, I'll do the sound effects for it. But like, it's always seemed interesting to make up your own story, make your own adventure thing, because yeah, who wouldn't want that?
And and that's what I really like about Dungeons and Dragons, is it's because of the creativity that people have on the go. For me, I'm kind of systematic. Like if I were to be a game master for Dungeons and Dragons, I were to have every single choice set, but that choice will not always be chosen by the person who plays the game. So, and yeah.
See, I think I'm kind of that way too, where I have things, and in my mind I have like something where I'm like, if you do this, and this, you will have the maximum amount of fun in your game time. Like, I've always joked, or not even joked, but like if I meet someone and I start talking to them, I've already planned out up to marriage. Like, I'm like, by this point we should be like holding hands. By this point we should be married. By this point, like, if by this point we're not happy, then we'll consider divorce. If we have a kid, that changes things.
Yeah. Just have to have like a consensus.
Yeah. Is it gonna be better to stay together for the kids, or is it gonna mess the kids up? You gotta think about the kids. I was like, and then I'm like, why aren't you thinking about the kids? And she's like, this is why we haven't made it past the first date.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm weird, but I'm like, I'm not weird. I'm practical here. I don't want to have kids until a few years into a relationship. Why? Because those are expensive.
Yeah. I'm not really looking into like finding a girl right now, mainly because I'm just so busy with everything that's been going on, from having 23 credit hours at college to a double majoring in two completely separate like career paths, so music, performance, and computer science, and having two jobs. One of them is working at the service desk, and the other is just working online, so that after I get off my night shift, usually at Butler, I go work on my computer and work more until about 2 a.m., 3 a.m., however long it will take for me to get things done in my second job. And on top of that, I still have, like, being a chapter president for Phi Theta Kappa, the Honor Society for community colleges.
Very nice, very nice. So, when do you sleep?
I don't really sleep. What's that? But usually on the weekdays, I get like minimum 2 hours, and then maximum like 4 to 5.
How much like blood do you have to like caffeine? What's the ratio of that? Is it like mostly caffeine in your veins?
And that's a thing. I don't drink caffeine. I don't have energy drinks, no coffee, no alcohol, if you really would consider that. I'm not really sure, but but yeah, there's
shoot, I'm gonna start having a glass of something in the morning if that's caffeine.
Yeah, it's really bizarre on how my body is able to withstand all of these conditions with my health, and I don't know.
Maybe you've done it the right way, where you haven't like conditioned your body. Because I've always wondered this. Like, people are like, "Oh, you should do this facial product stuff." I'm like, but the more you use that stuff, the more your body becomes dependent upon it. I was like, so maybe by you not trying coffee or caffeine or like any of these different things, you have single-handedly done yourself a favor. And you have strengthened your immune system so that you're like Batman, where you only need 2 hours of sleep.
Well, I'm not so sure about strength, and that's what kind of scares me. Maybe it's kind of like a, what do you call that? Where a pill makes you think that.
The red and the blue pill.
Yeah, sure, but I don't know if what I'm doing is actually good or bad, because I know in my head my health is bad, but I don't feel that.
I can tell you one thing about your health that's very bad. It's your cheese. It's the amount of cheese.
Well, even though I'm lactose intolerant, I still eat as much cheese as possible. And my brother has it worse because he has a cheese t-shirt, cheese socks, cheese car keys, any sort of accessory, you name it.
What is it about cheese with y'all?
I don't know. Cheese is freaking good. I mean, I can have it in a burger, grilled cheese sandwich, anything that has cheese, I will eat it.
Just so you eat like an entire bowl of cheese.
Yes, and actually last week I had a pretty big bowl of just cottage cheese. And I know a lot of people don't like cottage cheese, but honestly, it's healthier. Right. It's healthier to eat cottage cheese in a way.
I used to like it way more than I do now, but like I don't know. It's got a weird texture.
Maybe with goat cheese, they do have like a specific aftertaste that I don't really like. But
what about blue cheese? How do you feel about that?
Blue cheese is good. Like I had it at Red Robin one time, and it's all right if you don't have it in big portions.
Yeah,
right.
That's one of the ones that I've always wanted to get like the acquired taste for. It just seems like something I should have developed the taste for, but I feel like a kid every time I have blue cheese. I'm like, oh, it's nasty, and then but I'm like, it is nasty. It just, but like it's like drinking scotch. Like the first time you try it, you're like, whoa, there, might as well just have drank straight rubbing alcohol, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's an acquired taste. One that I've yet to acquire.
Yeah.
But one of these days I will.
What's your favorite cheese?
Oh, my favorite cheese. I think it really depends. 'Cause I like cheddar, pepper jack.
Basic.
One of these days I need to make the bacon, bourbon, buffalo chicken, mac and cheese for the podcast. And I'm thinking of like a nice Munster or like a smoked Gouda or something like that for like the sauce.
Oh my gosh, you're making me salivate right now. Holy cow. Yeah, Munster, smoked Gouda, and creamy Havarti are like the 3 best cheeses in my book that I would have on a daily basis.
And so what is your least favorite type of cheese?
It would probably just be goat. Yeah. Especially when it's really, really, really strong. Yeah.
That's fair. So let me see. We've talked about cheese. I mean, what else is there really to talk about? What about string cheese or string
mozzarella
cheese? Well, I suppose if you want to call it what it is. But the string cheese, are you one of those people who just bites right into it or pulls it apart?
No. Yeah, I am one of those people that just peels it off.
Peels it off, and you're like, oh, you naughty girl. as you're pulling it off, and everyone's like, just looking at you.
Now, occasionally, like, if I feel like I'm really hungry, I would just bite it off and just have it melt in my mouth the whole time, just so I can savor all of the juices of the string cheese. But most of the time, I just peel it off, and yeah.
Fair enough. So if there is like one cheese food that you can have for the rest of your life, so whether that's queso or pizza or like a cheeseburger, quesadilla, what would it be?
Ooh, just any cheese food? I think it would just have to be mac and cheese.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with that, like add some bacon and some chicken,
Right,
good
yeah.
stuff. All right, so I looked up some topics to talk about. Family.
No, no, why this?
So we hit. It sounds like we struck gold. So tell us about your family.
So a long time ago, I think about 12 years ago, I mean, we were a happy family, you know, just making children, making food, all those sort of stuff, supporting each other. And then one day, my mom and dad were like, nope, this is not going to happen. So that went away. We went into, like, my dad lived in an apartment for about a couple of years while my mom still stayed at home. Yeah, and been divorced ever since.
I feel so bad for laughing, but the way you phrase that, yeah, we were happy, we were making food, making family, making children.
Yes.
Sorry to hear about that. Politics.
I know nothing about it. Anything politics, like, I don't even know what our current president is doing right now. Or
I don't think he knows what he's doing right now.
anything history, nothing. Geography, you name it, I will probably get that question wrong. I
Really?
suck so bad, especially on U.S. history.
Let's look up some U.S. history.
Oh no, okay.
Or actually, all right, so entertainment, food, cooking, what's your favorite movie?
What's my favorite movie?
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call it movie, but I would have to say the video game Detroit Become Human.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take game. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Why Detroit Become Human?
I just like on how the soundtrack that was implemented into it can tell its story
Fair
within
enough.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah. Soundtracks are so important and so very. I like how you phrase that, where it tells its own story within the soundtrack. The Last of Us is one of my favorite video game series, and I love how the main theme of the first one has a little bit more hope and a little bit of like, it's a little happier than the soundtrack for part 2, where the main theme for part 2 is just desolate and dark and depressing, and it's the solo banjo, and it's
And going back to Detroit Become Human, I mean, Akara has her specific theme of like a cello that's going up and down the arpeggio, and it just creates this whole ominous adventure of just having her own story of escaping through, what do you call that? Being a sentient robot.
very cool.
Right.
Yeah, I remember. I've heard good things about Detroit Become Human. It's just one of the ones I have yet to get around to playing. That, I think, Death Stranding, Days Gone. There's like a list of like PS4 games where they're like, you got to play that one. I was like, maybe one of these days. I'll cross that bridge. This is a fun one. Finance.
Ooh, okay. What specific questions? I
don't
find
know,
it.
just finance. Are you good with finance? It's terrible.
I would say I am. I mean, there was one experience. So I believe when I was like 15, I had an addiction to this one video game that I played all the time. I think it was called Growtopia.
Okay.
And they always have like this in-game currency that you can buy, and that will just like give you like it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where you can work your way up, grind, and get some money and just make it a better life. Well, in Growtopia, I spent about $600-700 on it.
Was this a free phone game? Or?
Yes, it was a free phone game.
Just imagine you could have sold that phone to like somebody, and you would have been like, "Hey, this phone It's only worth like $200, but there's like $700 worth of Growtopia on there.
Yeah, and my mom was not too happy to see that on my account. Yeah, now my mom is watching my my account even up to this day.
It'd be that way. Well, lucky you got a mom.
No, stop.
Fashion.
I don't know anything about
Me
fashion. Yeah,
I
it's overrated.
I think it was Beethoven, where he would like wear the same thing every day so that he wouldn't have to, or was it Einstein? Somebody smart or talented, or like somebody who did something with their life. They had a hypothesis where it was like, if you wear the same thing every day, you will not waste brain power trying to figure out what to wear.
Right,
And I was like, that seems legit.
Yeah, and fashion seems to be a little like too much at times. I mean, because like there was like a TikTok video that I saw of like a couple of people that were sitting at a dining table.
Yeah.
And then like a couple of seconds later, the whole the whole lining of the dining table fell off, bringing the food with it, as the woman just walked off with the liner, and they call that fashion.
I mean, hey,
I don't know.
it's 2023. Anything can be anything now. Health. Any health tips for us?
Don't be like me. Get some sleep. You know, you gotta have 2 meals a day. I only get 0 or 1 meal a day. And yeah, that's a good health tip from
2
Dr.
meals a
Tersol.
Cooking. Do you enjoy cooking? Do you cook at all?
I've cooked one thing, and that's mashed potatoes and eggs and hot dogs. But those are all basic because I bought them all from Walmart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I don't think it's too hard. Like, I grew up watching a lot of like Gordon Ramsay and like Food Network shows, but then I also just remember watching my mom cook. And when I did culinary at Butler, the first thing chef taught us was like seasoning, and my mom taught me to not use a lot of seasoning for her health. And when I was there, chef was like, whoa, he's like, you gotta use way more. He was like, the amount of salt and stuff. I was like, that's what things are supposed to taste like? I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I didn't know that you took a culinary class, but yeah.
That was my whole major, was I was doing the restaurant management. And like the day we were doing crustaceans was one of my favorite days. I am deadly allergic to shellfish, but I was tearing it up. My scallops came out beautiful. Like, I was shucking more oysters than anyone else in the class. And then they wanted everyone to try snail. That was the big one, was like, everyone was like, "Ooh, this is disgusting. That's weird." I was like, I would actually try it if not for killing me. And so like chef for like an hour or like a half an hour or whatever, he was like trying to like get me to try. I was like, I can't. He was like, no, you gotta try it. It was like, everyone else is gonna try it. Like the girl who was like gagging and about ready to throw up, it was like, see, she loved it. I was like, I will literally die. And like, he was about ready to like shove it down my throat when I was like, I am allergic. And he was like, you're not joking, are you? And I was like, no. So much fun. The news, anything?
Not really.
All right, astrology. Do you keep up with that?
Astrology.
That's the whole, are you an asparagus? I'm a Pisces rising.
Yeah, I don't get that. No.
I don't either. Someone was like trying to explain it to me, and I was like, this just seems like a mess.
Oh, you're Pisces? Whoa, I didn't care.
Yeah. They're like, oh my God, we would be great married. I was like, okay. That's cool.
It's not like those personalities listed on the description of each astronomy sign is very broad so that it fits everyone.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, it's almost like the description, because the description on action figures have more like detail, like characters in like a video game where it's like the bios, where you got to collect all the files.
Yeah.
All right, in aging, we're all getting older.
Yeah, I'm 21, so
Yay.
I aged. I'm now a full-grown adult.
Technically not until you're 25, then you can rent a car.
Oh, really? Okay. Cool. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
So, how old to rent a car in, unless they changed it, but...
Oh, I see. Like, in other states. Yeah.
21? Huh. It used to be 25.
I've heard
they
that,
changed it.
like, if you rented a car, like...
Because you can buy
vacation.
alcohol, you can legally vote, you can buy a gun. But, sorry, this Toyota Corolla, that's way too much responsibility for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the one that I wanted to circle back to? Oh, let's see some U.S. history questions.
Oh no.
This will be interesting.
I'm gonna feel like a dumbass now.
100 American history trivia questions and answers. Sure, we'll accept the cookies. All right. How long ago do historians estimate the first settlers arrived on what is now American soil?
200 years.
More than 12,000 years ago? What?
You can probably even give me an easy U.S. history question, and I won't get it.
Let's see. When did Christopher Columbus land in what would later become the United States?
1779?
Was he? Hold up. No, I feel... Wait a second.
Something about that year feels familiar to me.
1779. That was, Oh, no. This is bad. I can't even remember. There is something about that year, though. 1776 was the... That was like the July 4th, 1776. I remember for the Columbus thing, I want to say 1492, but that doesn't sound right.
1779 was the American Revolutionary War.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Okay.
Every once in a while, people... I'm gonna do that. Let's go. Let's find some easy U.S. history. We don't need easy U.S. history questions. All right. What is the first capital of the United States?
Washington, D.C.
Do you know what D.C. stands for?
District Columbus.
District of Columbia.
Okay.
But that wasn't the first capital. It was actually New York City.
Oh.
Big Apple, where George Washington made the first inaugural address on April 30th, 1789.
Because of the 13 colonies.
Yeah, good times. Who first discovered America?
Didn't we just go back to... Christopher Columbus, right?
He stumbled across America by accident, but there was someone before him.
That I do not know.
It was a Norse explorer, Leif Erikson.
Sounds like a musician.
He does sound like a... Yo, did you check out Leif Erikson's new record?
Yeah.
Fire, bruh. Straight fire. All right. When was the Declaration of Independence signed?
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't have known this one. These are easy.
18... Yeah, what the heck? 1824?
It was August 2nd, 1776.
Oh gosh. Oh, because of the Revolutionary War. It happened right after it, right?
Where did the Pilgrims land in America?
Where?
Yeah.
I would have to assume New York. Because I mean, I just remember the whole Boston Tea exchange.
So it's according to this, it's unknown, but it was somewhere like in like Massachusetts. Or
I was kind of
Plymouth
thinking Boston. Yeah.
like
Boston Tea.
somewhere
So
East Coast. What did Paul Revere shout on the Midnight Ride in 1775?
To be or not to be? That's the question.
So this is saying the British are coming is incorrect. The regulars are coming, if anything. Turns out Paul Revere probably didn't yell anything. I don't know.
The mullets start coming.
What do you mean? Okay, can you name Columbus's 3 ships?
No, not at all.
I was always taught the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. It's saying that is incorrect.
I do not know any of
the
those
Santa
names.
Maria, the Santa Clara, and the Unknown.
What a great way to name a ship.
I'm really questioning why does the Liberty Bell have a crack in it? I don't know.
Like, I probably can't even answer. Well, like, for one thing, I don't even know. Is it George Washington that's the first president?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as long as you got that.
Okay, cool.
Where is Mount Rushmore?
I do know this. South Dakota.
That was North Dakota.
Oh,
I know it's in one of them.
yeah, it's one Dakotas. I actually went there, and now I feel bad.
No, it is South Dakota.
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
The National Memorial? Yep. South Dakota. Okay, cool. I'm stupid. Let me see. You know, I've yet to go visit Mount Rushmore. But just think, that must have took a lot of time to make that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if there was a Lego statue of that, it would have taken a couple hours. But, like, to actually carve that into a wall.
Then again, I think it was created while we still had, like, slaves.
Yeah.
So, that
makes it
too long.
I have one of my least favorite jokes that I say every so often is slaves. It's what built this country. It's really messed up, but I'm like, it's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
It's a double entendre, you know. It's clever thinking there. Now let's go back because some of these, like, what are some U.S. history question? Well, let's try the one according to PBS because like they kept. All right,
I know those are childish questions, but I'm not going to be able to answer them. It's like, are you smarter than a 5th grader?
We could find some of those.
Oh gosh, no.
Have you ever watched that show?
I've watched like some clips on TikTok.
I've like some of that stuff. I was like, I was not taught that in 5th grade.
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't. I still like, I don't know. And was never taught. What was the first 4th of July celebration to use fireworks? Was it 1777, 1799, 1876, or 1800?
1777 sounds
all right.
Very similar.
That's right. July 4th, 1777.
Yeah, because it happened right after the Independence War. Whatever.
How many signatures were on the Declaration of Independence?
No.
So.
Oh, you have the Declaration of Independence in your room?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If I were to make a guess, that's 2.
The signatures are at the bottom.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that
so like, there's 50, 26, 56, or 13.
Wait, all of those are names? Or it's just the bottom?
Just the ones at the bottom.
That looks like 27. Oh gosh, yeah. No. 40. 42. Yes.
50, 26, 56, or 13?
Say the options again.
50, 26, 56, or 13?
26.
26. 56 signers. Gosh, that's a lot of people. I thought it was 13. I don't know why that number sounded correct. What year did the Star Spangled Banner become the national anthem? 1900, 1865, 1976, or 1931?
1875 sounds similar.
There's 1865. Is that?
Yes.
All right. 1931. Really?
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only person that doesn't know much about history.
I never said I did either. There's a few things that I know, like there is the Lincoln Kennedy shootout, there is the
right, the major events like 9/11.
Yeah. All the hits.
Al-Qaeda, yeah.
Okay.
Really cherish the
Which
moments.
we're still not 100% certain that you weren't behind all that. Which president held the first White House 4th of July celebration? Was it good old GW, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, or Abe Lincoln?
James Madison.
Let's check with our boy Maddie.
When in doubt, choose C.
He was not. It was Thomas Jefferson. On July 4th, 1960, what state's admittance to the Union was solidified with a 50th star on the American flag? I think I know this one.
What state?
Yep. Alaska, Washington, Texas, or Hawaii? I always forget that Hawaii is part of America.
Yeah. I would say Washington.
Washington? It was Hawaii.
Really?
Honestly, I knew it was between Hawaii or Alaska. I just can't remember which one.
Oh, I see.
Who was the oldest signer of the Declaration of Independence? John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, John Hancock, or Josiah Bartlett? Who the heck is that?
I would say Benjamin Franklin.
Oh.
If not John Adams.
That's right. He was 70 years old.
Okay.
He was the oldest signer. Goodness gracious. What food is eaten the most on the 4th of July? Hot dogs, hamburgers, corn on the cob, or baked beans?
Baked beans or corn on the cob, but I would say it's on baked beans.
Hot dogs.
They
Jeez.
had hot dogs back
Americans consume 150 million hot dogs on the 4th of July, enough to run the length of Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles 5 times. Good God, that's a lot of hot dogs.
then? Jeez.
Have you ever watched the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Championship?
I did once.
It is like the most vile thing that I love to watch every year it comes on. I'm like, man, that's disgusting.
Oh boy, dip your hot dog in water, make
Hot
it
dog sounds
consume
good.
it.
It's just like, in the way that it looks, it just looks dirty the way that they're eating it, the way they're like.
It kind of, because have you watched it was the one with Eddie Murphy of an alien that came by Earth. It was to find a special rock that a boy had found, and he went through all this time trying to get the rock from the boy.
I keep wanting to say Men in Black, but that's not Eddie Murphy.
That's not Eddie Murphy.
I'm trying to think, what was Eddie Murphy in? Shrek?
Eddie Murphy. I don't really know.
He was in Coming to America. I'm just trying to think of his movies right now.
I'm just thinking, because 1,000 Words.
1,000 Words.
1,000 Words. He was also in
saw
that.
that one. I remember that because there's the tree, and every time he said a word, that a leaf would fall off.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so he just tried not talking. It'd be that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you could only say 1,000 words. Born after July 4th, 1776, who was the first president born as an American citizen? Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, James Taylor, or John Quincy Adams?
John Quincy Adams.
Not
Buren.
quite. The 8th president, it was Martin Van Buren.
Ah, that was my second choice.
How many times does the Liberty Bell get symbolically tapped every Independence Day?
13?
13? That was actually the first answer. That's right.
Hey.
To honor the original 13 colonies. Where's the Declaration of Independence on display? The White House, Graceland, the Monticello, or the National Archives?
National Archives.
That is correct.
Hey.
So you got like 3 out of 10.
That's a passing grade.
Yeah. I had a coworker. Have you ever seen National Treasures?
No.
So I had a coworker who was like, "Did you know that Nick Cage stole the Declaration of Independence?" I was like, "Did he actually?" And they were like, "Yeah." And like they were so dead like set about this, and I was like, "I know that like he did in the movie, but I was like, did he like?" Because you know,
Actually.
Nick Cage is. I don't want to say he's like Kanye, but like kind of you forget he lives in the back of your mind for a little bit, and then he'll pop up every so often in like a movie, or he'll do something, and you're like, oh, that's right, Nick Cage exists. And I was like, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually tried doing it. But no, someone told him that Nick Cage stole the Declaration of Independence, and my coworker was just none the wiser.
I do love red herring.
Oh yeah, red herring's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very fun. You know what else is fun? Messing with Ingram.
Yes.
How should we mess with Ingram?
I don't know. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing a April Fool's joke on him yet. I'm still waiting a little bit before I can introduce all the new headliners into the Ingram memes group chat. But hopefully, like, when I have the time to, I'll go ahead and make some more memes of Mr. Ingram.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, someone had sent one the other day where it was the picture of the guy doing that, and they were like, is that Mr. Ingram?
Oh,
and
right.
so I was like, I was trying to find the original where Ingram made that, like, position or that little, like, gesture. And then I was going to do the thing from The Office where Pam was like, corporate needs you to find which one is which. They're the same picture.
Yeah, I did that with Bryce, like with a pianissimo and a fortissimo.
Yeah.
Tell me the difference, yeah.
Yeah, and meanwhile, you just got me. She's like, y'all read music? Like, you know, it's like the, wait, y'all are getting paid?
Yeah.
It's fun stuff like that. Like, I remember the first time I heard the term, what was it? Retardando?
Retardando?
Retardando, that's the one. I remember they were like, and then we go retardando, and I was like, why'd you just call me?
Yep, that's a very common word that people like to say. Retardando.
Retardando. Yeah, I work with a couple of those. It's like musicians making jokes about G-strings. You know, it's fun stuff. And the irony of it is, like, the G-string is always the one that, like, gets slightly out of tune. I don't know why. There's probably, like, a science behind it, but G-string is either a little bit too tight or not tight enough, you know? Like, it's kind of a joke, but kind of not really, you know? Tuning a piano like that seems like a hassle. Have you ever?
I feel like it would be pretty easy as long as you like maybe have a piano tutor on the app, because unless you have perfect pitch, then maybe you can do it without the app.
My name's Brent. I have perfect pitch.
I don't have perfect. I have near perfect pitch.
Near perfect pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I can do 440 hertz is like what the standard is.
I think that's
Oh, look at me.
yeah.
My name's Brent. I have 437 hertz or whatever. I can do that. Yeah.
I can maybe be able to decipher maybe 10 cents from each other.
Faux shizzle. Oh yeah, did I show you the Hammond organ?
No, you haven't. Not really.
So yeah, that's my Hammond organ.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you like to play it?
Me? I only know maybe one song that can really be played on the organ, but I'll try.
Heard. Let's see. Alright, crikey, mates. We got Brent, and he's going towards his natural habitat. Something with some keys. We're gonna move the mic closer and listen to him play.
Oh, so that's the same one. Okay, cool. Wait, that sounds very similar.
Sheesh, about to have a panic attack. And this, kids, is how we get copyright striked.
Yep. That sounds very similar.
It does.
What other? They're very similar. I'm not so sure on how I can change it.
Now I get to talk into the other mic. Oh, wow. I've never actually tried talking into this one. Wow. Oh, that one sounds crispy. Kind of like this mic better now. Huh. Sound really crispy. How are you doing?
That's like an 8-bit.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. And then what I'll do is on the, what is it? Like, I've recorded stuff with it, and then there's like a bit crusher. So you can put that on top of that and kind of make a whole bunch of other sounds on top of the sounds that you get out of it already. And then, did you play with the foot pedals at all?
No, I haven't.
Those are fascinating.
Oh gosh, I can't think of any 8-bit songs.
Let's see.
Shoot.
Just play some Megalovania or something.
Yep. Cool. Whoa.
Yeah, there's a few notes on there that
Yeah. I kind of noticed that.
oh, crooked or something. Yeah.
Crooked? I don't think it's crooked at all.
Little, as the kids put it, sus.
Oh. That's,
Yeah, they
Oh! And it makes a tritone. Wow, you monster. Okay. Okay. Every other key works, it's just C sharp.
Yeah, it's rough.
Okay. Alright. That's why.
I don't know why.
Well, it's probably in the technical side of things that I don't know how to
Yeah, I don't know either.
change programming.
Yeah.
Do you smash the piano?
No. The story. I don't know if I've told the story on the show how I got the Hammond organ, but basically the way that I try and do my finances is let me see. I have to move the mic back to my natural habitat, my couch. But the way I do my finances is basically I give myself $100 or something like that, and I set that aside, and that's just what I want to do. Everything else goes into like savings, bills, stuff like that. But that way, if you give yourself a limit on what you give yourself, you limit yourself in your spending. Otherwise, you just keep spending.
Yeah. I need to do that.
it's kind of worked.
I mean, regardless, I'm still earning like profit every like 2 weeks. No, every week or so. It's just the fact of managing the money to hopefully maximize profits.
You know, like not buying as much heroin or crack and stuff like that. You know, but yeah, but. So the week I sent myself like $100. I was like, okay, I really need jeans for work. We need dark blue jeans, and so I was like, all right, I should go get some jeans. I go to Goodwill because I was like, you know what, maybe I can spend $40 on a pair of jeans, or I can maybe get for like $10 get a pretty decent pair of jeans that just has like a, you know, maybe lightly shat pair of pants or something like that, you know. Just whatever. So I go and I look like 12 o'clock and I'm like, that's a Hammond organ. And I look at it and it was $70 and I was like, there's no way it works. So I noticed the cord on the ground and I was like, I mean, even if it did work, I don't have room or the desire or the need for a Hammond organ. I plugged it in. I played one chord. And I ripped off the like tag where it's like, take this to the front, and I was like, fine. So yeah, that's how I got a Hammond organ.
That's really nice.
It is really cool.
Yeah, one of the most like major things that I spend on would have to be on food. Like every day I spend maybe about $10 to $20 on food, and that's usually like by the weekday. So if you calculate that, like 50 times 4 is 200, so around $200 to $400 a month.
Yeah.
And have I ever really told you about how much I order when it comes to food, like especially for McDonald's?
We've eaten together before. We've broke bread. We just broke bread. I took you to Twin Peaks one time, and I remember you got like an entree, an additional side of mac and cheese with your entree that already came with like a side or two. And then you got something else. I can't remember.
I think... Yeah, I can't remember. If I look at the menu, I can probably see.
That was a good trip. It was you, me, Max, and Bryce. That was a good pairing. We caused a lot of chaos.
But typically what I usually order at McDonald's, like whenever I do feel very hungry, is I get 2 McChickens with extra mayonnaise, 2 spicy McChickens with extra mayonnaise, 2 Filet-O-Fish, one
with
large fry. 1 large fry.
With extra mayo.
Yes. 1 20-piece McNuggets.
Oh, God, it's still going. I thought... typically, the fry is, like, the last thing, so I thought you were, like...
No, it's still going. Plus, I get either a large mango pineapple smoothie, the best, or a McFlurry.
Okay.
And then... I go to Smoothie King and get another drink from there. I think it was like $6. And I always get the 32 ounce, the larger size.
Just to be safe.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a very thirsty boy.
You heard it here, folks. He's a thirsty boy. Oh man, what a good time. My order at McDonald's, and you use the app, right?
Which saved you like $2.
I mean, sometimes I don't know. You gotta eat the deals in the app. It's the
right.
Like it's. I
use the deals, but it only saves like $2, and I can only use 1 deal per visit.
Yeah, I suppose
it sucks.
I suppose they don't have the like, what is it? The
stackable.
Yeah, the stackable, but they also don't do like the here, get 8 McChickens and a 20-piece deals. Let's see what deals they got going right now, but yeah, like my current one is like 2 double cheeseburgers, and then a 20-piece McNugget and like a medium fry, something like that. I
currently have 25,000 points, but it actually used to be a lot more. I think I did have, at max, 62,000.
It'd be that way. Who was it? I remember one of the times we went and we did the McDonald's night. Like, you see right here, $6 for a 10-piece and McNugget combo. With,
Oh, yes.
And then you got the $1.29 any size fry. You got the free quarter pounder with cheese.
Yes, cheese. Yeah, apparently if you first download the app, you won't get all the deals, but, like, the longer you do have, like, the app and use it as often, the
That's
more
where they
deals you
start
get.
to undress all the deals.
Oh, yes.
They're like, all right, fine.
Did you hear that this whole entire week, McDonald's, Arby's, Sonic, almost every single fast food American restaurant was doing a whole deal? I think for McDonald's, they were doing like a free double cheeseburger with every purchase.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And same thing for Arby's. They had it for buy one, get one free burgers. Sonic, I think, was like a free large shake.
And for what reason?
I don't know. I think it was just a whole National Cheeseburger Day, I think.
Oh, yeah, that was this week.
Mm-hmm.
There is, like, National Cheeseburger Day, and there's another, like, national holiday.
Mm-hmm.
How well do you know your holidays?
Not much. I mean, I know that I keep track of the National Cheese Day or National Mac and Cheese Day, because usually me and my brother are on top of that. Because do you know, like, on Christmas, they also do this thing called the 30 days of, no, I think it was 12 days of, no, it's a cheese calendar that you buy. And
like an advent calendar.
Yes, yeah, but it's for cheese. And every day at a specific restaurant, there's a specific cheese that is on sale. And me and my brother were to take a cut of our money to buy that cheese and share it.
I feel like you would be like a wine and cheese person.
You know on how I don't really like alcohol. I mean, I tried it yesterday, but I don't want to try it again.
I feel like the wine and cheese thing would be you'd be there with your Riesling, and you're like this monster with this Riesling. Well, like, in every time I'll see you, like, you'll become more and more like French, and you'll have like a beret one day, and then a scarf, and then those like weird sunglasses, and then like there will always be a glass in your hand, and you'll always be swishing it around.
In fact, my brother had was looking for other jobs at some point, and he came across an advertisement of like tasting different cheeses and getting paid for it. He wanted to do it so badly, but I think there was like a specific requirement that he doesn't qualify. And
probably tried all the cheeses and all
Yeah.
preconceived notions.
It would be really nice. I think that would have been my dream job, to taste cheese.
Mine was really sad. It was to work at In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, In-N-Out is really great.
It is.
I don't get why people choose Whataburger over.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, it's like In-N-Out. You see, this is why I like you. Like, this is why you know your stuff. You're a man of taste. You always have been. So Asians are redheads.
I would say, well, by tradition, Asians.
Yeah. But there's some pretty spicy redheads out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a girl with issues, you know? Like, you ain't looking at a redhead and going like, yeah, she's got it all figured out. But that's what I want, is a redhead who's got it all figured out, you know? Someone who looks at my financial plan for life and they're like, I think we can make this work, you know?
You have to have like a filter of all the requirements. Like, have you ever seen those TikTok videos of like, don't be nice, and writes it on like the okay list whenever you're talking to women, And
it's like filtering search results or on like eBay where it's like all right, new, old, used, damaged,
ooh,
good condition.
I gotta get the new one. The new Ultra Deluxe Womanizer 3000.
The Womanizer 3000 comes equipped with a wife beater and insults. Get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Fun stuff. But yeah, no, like I'm looking through there. I'm like, oh, I think I can go with gently used, you know, decent condition.
Yeah, you got to get a discount.
Yeah. You know, like I think when women look at me, they're like, you know, he's like something from IKEA. They're like, I could fix that.
Just take your woman to an IKEA store, fix you.
Yeah. They're like, I wonder if he comes with all the nuts and bolts though. You know, it's like he's got a few screws loose, but we could fix that, you know. But yeah, no, like some assembly required. That's kind of like what I am. What I'm really looking for is a girl with daddy issues. My thought process is this. So hypothetically, I got mommy issues, right? So sorry. He just took off one shirt.
Yes, I
and
did.
under the other shirt is basically the exact same shirt.
I'm getting hot, okay?
I was so happy that this one said Simmons on it.
Yeah, exact same number as well. Yeah, no change to it.
Beautiful. I'm still sad. Like, I gave away my headliner jacket because the wrist thing, it was too tight for me.
Right.
I'm a little sad that I gave it away now. Every once in a while, I'm like, I wish I had my headliner jacket. I would wear that now.
Well, I mean, you could loosen it up, like, because if you did have like some, like.
Yeah, I know these things now.
Yeah.
People have told me. Again, someone has it. But yeah. What was I saying? Damaged goods. Oh yeah. So if she has daddy issues and I got the mommy issues, my thought process is to balance it out, you know?
Yeah. It's a completely supportive family. You got a half and half.
Yeah, we'll be like, you know, I don't want you to be the dad that I had, right? And then I'll be like, I want you to be the mom that I don't have for the kids. And then she'll look at me and she's like, that got really dark. I was like, yeah, it did. It's like we should stay together for the kids. You know? we should make sure that we don't make the mistakes.
Yeah, that's how relationships work.
Yeah. And if anyone disagrees with that or has any input, because we're trying to figure this out. We here at A Distinguished Conversation, we like the science of it all. So yeah. What else should we talk about? I think we've covered all the bases. Is there anything else anything you want to tell the world?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it has been a pleasure getting to know you over the last 2 years now? 2.5?
2.5, yeah. 2.5 years.
In that time, we've had many adventures, many laws broken, many illegal gambling, and drunken nights, and all that good stuff. Half of this is true. It's up to you, the viewers, to figure out which is true and which isn't. But yeah, we've had quite some adventures. It was a pleasure to finally have you on this show. If you'd like, we can do a gaming segment. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I'd be interested in doing that.
All right. I got just the game. So yeah, be sure to be on the lookout for that, folks. You can find us at a_distinguished_conversation_ on the Insta chats and on Spotify and YouTube. And be sure to go follow my main man's Brent Tersol on I'll let you do your plug yourself.
You can find me on YouTube as Brent Tersol, though I don't really post in there anymore. I in fact don't really touch with social media at all, so I guess the best way to contact with me would be through Instagram, and that would be Tersol, BTERSOL. Yep.
Sure. But yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Now I just gotta turn off the computer.
All right.
First the tide rushes in, plants a kiss on the shore, then rolls out to sea, and the sea is very still once more.